Yeah, good morning, everyone.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning.
So you are able to see the screen here.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. We'll just start in 2 minutes. It's 8:09. We'll start by 8:10. Okay. 1 more minute. We'll wait. Okay, guys. Good morning. So shall we start now?
Yes, Samir. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, let us start with, guys. Before we move ahead, just let me brush up yesterday's one. Okay. So I'll just brush it up once, and then we'll move ahead with the regular. That is nothing but the thing we have it. Now, guys, what is in Azure? Okay, Azure data. Okay, guys, Azure data factory. So what is an Azure data factory, guys? The Azure data factory is a ETL service. It is what? ETL, yeah, service provided by Microsoft. Provided by what is that? Microsoft. Whereas it performs the ETL job between on cloud, that is premises, on that is from between the on cloud to that is on cloud to premises, and on premises to cloud, and cloud to clouds. Okay, clouds, that is cross cloud computing also it can do it. Okay, so whereas, guys, here we have it. Okay, but the process of ETL requires the following. Okay, but the process of ETL requires the following. So now, what do you mean by actually the ETL? Why we does the ETL process? Yes, guys, any idea? Yeah.
For transfer the data from source to target.
Yeah. What is the necessity of ETL? Stands for what? Extraction. Yes, guys. Extraction.
Transmission loading.
Yes,
Transformation
very good.
load.
Transformation. Yes, guys. Extraction, transformation, and the next one is what? Loading. Yeah. Whereas, why do we do this process? What is the necessity of doing this process?
We are generating reports for the business users downstream to design different KPIs and all
Okay,
for
that is
the analysis. Yeah.
very good. But why actually we are doing this? Okay, that is fine.
So
We
we can get the insights from business by using the raw
You
data.
can get
We can do
required
the
information
transformation.
from raw data.
very good. So, guys, the extraction, transformation, and loading is a process of extraction, loading. Okay, extraction, transformation, and loading is a process of, yes, guys, is a process of data summarization. Data summarization. Okay, data summarization. It is a process of data summarization. Okay, based on, yes, guys, it is a process of data summarization based on the requirement, based on the requirement based on the requirement of the customer. Based on the requirement of the customer. That means customer means what, guys? End users. Okay. Yes, guys. Based on the requirement of the customers. That is called as what, guys? End users. Suppose, okay. Suppose now everything is automated. Everything is automated. Okay. So now, guys, everything is automated. Now, few days, or you can say few years back, we used to have a scooters. Before we get this Honda Activa, we used to have a two-wheeler, such as Bajaj Chetak was there, or some Vespa was there. So at that time, what happened? We used to start that vehicle by that is something but kick starting. Okay, we used to use the that is something but kick to start a vehicle. Okay, we used to kick the vehicle for starting it. Okay, whereas at that time, what happened? It was every time we have to kick so many times. Okay, and bend the vehicle and just take it up and again taking the vehicle for starting. So this is but not that comfortable. So for that, in advancement of that, nowadays what happened, we got the kick start even for the bikes now. Even for the bikes, we need not use the kick now. We need not use the kick start. Simply what happens, we can use the button called, what is that? Yes, guys, simply we use the button called what? That is nothing but ignition button to start the same. That is called as a that is something called button start vehicles. We are getting it in every way. Okay, so this is nothing but based on the requirement of the user, the company has upgraded the technology. Am I right, guys? Yes, am I right, everyone? Yes.
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
in the same way, yeah, based on the requirement. Who is the end user? You and me are called as the end users, guys. Because ultimately, two-wheeler or four-wheeler, whatever we are using it, it is ultimately designed for us, for our facilities. Am I right, guys? So in the same way, yeah, in the same way, always here we work based on the end user. That is called as a business end user. That is called as a customer. That is called as what? Customer. So based on the requirement of the customer, we perform the data summarization process. Okay. So what is my data summarization? Data summarization is a process where the data is prepared. Okay. Where the data is prepared. Okay, but the data is prepared for, where the data is prepared for decision making system. Decision making system. Okay, guys. What is my decision making system? Based on this data, the business decisions are made. Based on this data, the major business decisions are made here. Getting my point? That is called as what? Decision making system. So for this process of ETL, guys, for this process of ETL, we require the following things. What is it we require? It source. We require, what is that? Source. And the next one, what is it we require it, guys? Tell me now. We require, what is that? Target. So without these two things, it is not possible for a user to perform the job of, what is that? ETL. That is called as what? Extraction, transformation, and what is that? Loading. So we perform the process of, yes guys, we perform the process of ETL between the source and the target. We perform the process of what is that? ETL. Okay guys, we perform the process of what? ETL between the source and the target. That means between both of this, we perform the job of what is that? ETL. That is called as what? Extraction, transformation, and loading, where it is a process of data summarization, where it is the process of, guys, data summarization. Okay guys, so whereas here you have the process of ETL. So what is in this process of ETL, we require the source and the target. So what do you mean by source? Yes guys, what do you mean by source? Anyone?
Source can be OLTP system.
Yes, source can be anything. It can be OLTP system, or it can be, okay, that is, files, etc., etc. Anything it can be. Okay, guys. So we can say that. Okay, guys, we can say that. Okay, we can say that source is nothing but a place where we can find the data. Source is nothing but it is a place where actually we can find the data. That is called as what? Source system. That is called as what? Source system. Okay. So here I'm mentioning it. Source. Source is nothing but means what? Source of, yes guys, source of data. That is nothing but source is nothing but source of data. A place where we get the data is called as what? Source of data. So we say that source of income is nothing but your job or a business, whatever the thing we do it. Am I right, guys? The job or the business, whatever we do it, is called as what? Source of income. In the same way, so source from where we get the money is called as what? Source of income. In the same way, guys, source of data is nothing but it is the place from where actually we get the data. It is a place from where we get the data. Actually, we get the data. Okay, getting my point, guys? So now here we have the source of data. So the following is the source of data we can have. What is that, guys? The first one is called as what? Files. So whatever files we can have, guys, can you tell me? Yes?
JSON files.
Very good. JSON files. Yes. Then we can have, what is that?
XML,
XML
files.
Okay, very good. Then we have, what is that? We have for that is third is XML files, and then we have what? HTML file, and then we can have the data in, what is that? CSV files. Very good. Excel files. Then we can also have the data in, what is that? Yes.
Text file.
Huh?
Text file.
Your voice is cranking. Who's this? Okay.
Text files. Yes.
We can also have the written Parquet files. Okay, then we can have the written Avro files. Okay, etc. Any type of files we can find the data. We will learn all what is this, what is Avro, what is Parquet. Okay, what is Avro, what is Parquet, and slowly we will see. Once we get into the subject, we need not worry about this. Okay, so these are all the, guys, these are all the, okay, these are all the files we can have it. These are all the files we can have it from where we can get the data. Now, guys, apart from having the data from the files, what are the other source of getting the data here? Apart from having the files, in all this, we can also have the data. And what is that? Yes, guys, we can also have the data. And what is that? Database or databases. So what is the databases you can have it? Yes, guys, we can have the data in, what is that? Oracle database.
SQL Server database.
Very good. SQL Server database.
MySQL.
Yeah, we can also have the written MySQL. Okay. Then we can also have the written, what is that? Teradata. Yeah, Teradata. Okay. Then we can have the written, but Informix. Okay. And then you can have the written word Informix.
DB2.
Yes, very good. DB2, etc. Okay, guys. DB2, etc., etc. These are all the sources of data we can have it. Okay, guys. That is nothing but called database. Now, apart from this, guys, we can also have we can also get the data from what is that? Live streaming data. We can get the data, what is that? Live streaming data. Am I right, guys?
Yes.
Live streaming data. So these are all the various sources of getting the data. That is nothing but we can get the data from what is that? Files. We can get the data from what is that? Databases. We can get the data from the files. We can get the data from the databases, or we can get the data from what is that? Live streaming data. So these are all the sources of getting the data. So what we do is we pull in the data from the source. We pull in the data from the source, okay, into this, what is that? ADF system. Into the, what is the system called as what? ADF system. Whereas this process is called as what is that? Extraction. It is called as what, guys? First of all, it is called as what? Extraction. And once the extraction is done, so extraction will start here. E stands here. Once the extraction is done, the data slowly moved into this ADF. Then the data will go to transformed tree. That is, T stands for what? Transform. Ultimately, transform means what?
Summarization of data.
Very good. Transformation is the actual process. The transformation is the actual process where the data is prepared. Where the data is prepared as per the user requirement. As per the user requirement, the data is prepared in the process of what? Transformation. Getting my point? Transformation. So ultimately, once a transformation is done, then the data will be, what is that? Loaded. Where loaded? Into the target. That is called as what? Into the decision or into the destination. Into the destination. Getting my point? This is the process of ETL. We have it. Whereas, guys, we can get this data. Actually, this all data is called as what? This all data is called as what? Yes, guys, big data. So we can say that these are all the sources of big data, or we can say this is as a big data. But whereas big data means what, guys? Huge data. Big means what? Huge. Yeah? Data means what? Information. So we can say huge information. Or else we can also say it as massive information. We can also call it as what, guys? Massive information is called as what? Big data. Big data is nothing but it holds, what is that? Massive information, or that is huge information. Okay, is called as what? Big data. But what are the sources of getting the big data, guys? Yes, guys. What is? This is nothing but source of data. Na? What are the sources of getting the data? That means all this data, whatever you have seen just now, file data, database data, or live streaming data, ultimately from where we get it? We get this all from the following sources of the big data. What are the sources of big data? Yesterday already we have discussed it. Yes, guys?
Human generated data.
Very good.
Banking applications.
Very good. Big data is nothing but we have what's that? Human generated data. Okay, human generated data. And then we have what's that? Social networking sites. Data from what is that? Social networking sites. Social networking sites. Then we can also have what's that?
Banking.
Machine generated data. Yeah. What's it? Yes, tell me. Machine.
Banking.
Very
Machine
good.
generated.
Yes, machine generated data. And whereas banking applications are considered as a very major source, guys. Banking applications.
E-commerce.
Yeah, e-commerce.
Amazon, Flipkart. Like.
Yes, and e-commerce sites. Then we have what is that? IoT sensors.
In share market also is an option.
Huh?
Share market.
Yes, yes.
Telecom.
Yes. So all these, can you see here? All these are the sources of getting the data. From these sources, guys, from these sources, we can get the data in the form of files, in the form of the database, else it can be the live streaming data. Anything we can have it. Getting my point? But all this data, we get it from what? The following sources. Hence, it is called as what? Source of getting the big data. What it is called as? Source of Yes, guys, source of getting the, yes guys, source of getting the big data, am I right, guys? So this is nothing but the thing we have it. All of you clear with this? Yes, everyone.
Yes, yes.
Yes.
So very good. So now guys, the next one. Okay, next one. So whereas to perform this particular process, guys, to perform this particular process in ADF, okay, okay, what is that we require it? As we know that we require the source, target, and between the source and target we perform the job of ETL, and this ETL we will be doing it here by using the ADF, that is called as what? Azure Data Factory. Whereas the Azure Data Factory, once you have started the process of extraction, you have the data in located in what? Physical files. From this physical files, from physical locations, you require to get the data into ADF, and ADF requires the data to be, what is it? Stored. Am I right, guys? Stored. So for storing the data, okay guys, for storing the data into this ADF, we require, what is it, guys? Storages. We require, what is that? Storages. So what are the storages we have it? Let us see. Storages in, yes guys, already I showed you yesterday, but still I'm repeating it.
ADLS Gen 1, Gen 2.
Very good. Storages in, guys, storages in
Azure.
very good. Storages in Azure. It is not the storages of ADF. Make sure these are the storages of what? Azure. Using, that is nothing but in the entire Azure, the data will be stored in, what is that? The data will be stored in, what is that? These storages. These storages are used to store the data, guys. But this data can be used by any service of ETL. That is nothing but any service of ADF. Any service of Azure. It's one of the services is nothing but called as what, guys? Data Factory service. One of the services is called as what? Data Factory service. What is the other service, guys, we have?
Azure Database.
Azure Database.
Synapse.
Very good. So Azure
Storage
Database,
service.
yes, ADB, and then you have, what's it? Synapse, and then you have, what's it? Azure Machine Learning, Azure Artificial Intelligence. We can use any of this. Getting my point, guys? So any of these services can use the storages here. So what are the storages? You know already, but just I'll write it here for clarity. So first one is, what is that? Yes, guys, the first one is called as what? Yeah.
Blob.
Yeah, very good. Azure Blob Storage. It is called as what? Azure Blob Storage. Azure Blob Storage. And then next one is, what is that? ADLS Gen 2. Now, guys, what do you mean ADLS Gen 2? Can you tell me the full form? Azure Data Lake. Azure Data Lake.
Storage.
Yes.
Storage.
Azure Data Lake Storage Gen 2. Am I right, guys? Azure Data Lake Storage Gen 2. Whereas apart from this, even we have the storage that is called as, yes, guys, even we have the storage that is called as what? Gen 1. Even we have the storage called what? Gen 1. Okay. So here we have the Gen 1. And then we have the storage. That storage is called as, what is that? Azure SQLDB. SQLDB, that is Azure
Cosmos.
SQL database. Then we can have, what is that? The next one is what? Azure
Cosmos DB.
Very good. Cosmos DB, which is nothing but Cosmos database. Then the sixth one, we can have, what is that? Azure Synapse Analytics. Okay, guys. Then we have, what is that? The next one we can also have, what is that? Azure Elastic Pool. Okay, Elastic Pool. That means we can also have the written, what is that? Azure Elastic Pool. We can also have the written, what is that? Azure Synapse. So anywhere we can store the data. Getting my point? So these are called as what? Azure storages. These are called as what? Azure storages. Whereas, guys, whereas these storages can be used by, what is that? Any of the service of ETL. Okay, sorry, any of the service of Azure, any of the service of what? Azure. So you want to see how many services are there in Azure? Yes, guys. You wanted to see how many services are there? Now, just a minute. I will show you. Just a minute. I will show you guys, everyone. Just have a look here. So just I'm opening the portal now, everyone. Just click on this new portal. Click on the new portal. Now, guys, I'm opening this portal. Just for clarity purpose, I'm telling you.
Around 200.
Many are there. Not 290 plus.
90 plus.
90 plus storages are there. Now just can you see here? You want to see this? Just click on this more service. You will have an icon. See, guys, everything is the online based. That means on the web based. Nothing is pirated here. There is nothing we have to install it, the pirated version. Everything is a web based. To avoid that piracy, only this kind of technology is developed. Okay, the cloud technology and all. Guys, can you see here now? These are all the storages. I'll show you. These are all the services here provided by Azure, guys.
I think on left side we have storage and
Now,
categories.
guys, you have it. You have it here. These are all the storages. We have the storage. Azure Cosmos, Azure SQL, database storages. These are called as what? Database storages. Okay. These are all the database storages. So we have altogether how many? 21 database storages. Elastic Pool. Okay. All this, whatever I told you now, Elastic Pool is there, etc. And then apart from this, even we have, okay, we can also go this way, storages. Just click on this. Can you see it? These are some of the storages we have, as we have discussed. Okay, Azure Data Lake Storage Gen 1. Okay, likewise Azure Data Lake Gen 2. All these are the various storages we have. Okay, guys, that's it. So now, guys, these are all the storages in Azure. Okay, so now, guys, let us start with the components in ADF. Components in ADF, guys. ADF means what? Azure Data Factory. That means in Azure Data Factory, we require the following components to perform the process of ETL. That means, guys, that means to perform the job of ultimately, what is that? To perform the job of ultimately, what is that? Extraction, transformation, and what is that? Loading. Yes, guys, to perform the job of what is that? Extraction, transformation, and loading, we require the following components. We require what is that? The following components. That means, guys, that means from here, that is from the part of extraction till the part of the loading of the data, we require some components of ADF. Okay, so here can you see I'm using ADF, but how does the ADF works? ADF works on the components. So thus that components we are going to discuss it now, guys. So for that, let us try to discuss that components in ADF. Am I right, guys? Everyone, components in ADF. Now tell me, what are the components in ADF? You have it. The first
Pipeline.
and the
Pipeline.
Very good.
Line.
Very good. The
Link.
first one is what? Pipeline.
Line.
Next one
Linked
is
service.
Linked service.
linked service.
Data sets.
Linked service. Now, guys, third one is
Mapping
what?
data flow.
Data set.
Data sets.
Mapping data flow.
Very good. Mapping data flows.
Triggers.
Yes, guys. The next one is what is that?
Trigger.
Very good. Triggers. The next one is what?
IR.
Activity.
Very good. IR. That is called as what? Integration runtime. Very good. IRs. That is called as what? Integration.
Integration runtime.
Integration runtime. And the seventh one is what?
Activity.
Activities.
Okay. So these are the components. We have it. These are the components. We have it. Now, guys, let us start with the pipeline. Already I told you the pipeline yesterday, but just brush it up and then we'll go ahead further, guys. So what is the pipeline? Tell me now.
Pipeline is the data flow.
Data flow.
It carries data from source to destination.
Yes. Yeah. So whereas pipeline is nothing but it carries the data from the source to the destination. That means it orchestrates the data from the source to the target. Okay, guys. Pipeline is nothing but what? Yes, pipeline is nothing but it carries out the orchestration of the data. Pipeline is nothing but it performs the orchestration of the data from the source to the target, from the source to the target. That means here you have, what is it, guys? Let us assume I'm writing it here. I'm taking, okay, let us not write it here. I'm just writing it here below. Guys, here you have a source now. Guys, here you have, what is it? Source. I'm just retyping it. Here is the source. And now, guys, here you have a pipeline. Pipeline. That means the process of extraction has already started here. Okay, in the ADF, the process of extraction is started in using the ADF. So now using the process of extraction has been started using the ADF. Okay, that is something about extraction. Whereas the extraction, the data will be pulled in and put into the pipeline. Put into, what is that? Pipeline. And now pipeline takes the data from the source to the, what is that? Destination. That is called as what? Target. Am I right, guys? Takes the data from the source to, what is that? Target. That is called as what? Pipeline. So pipeline is nothing but it carries the data. It carries the data from the source to the target. From the source to the target. Guys, we go to the supermarket. Every one of us, we go to the supermarket. Once we go to the supermarket, guys, we carry one bag with us. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
We carry one bag. Empty bag we carry. Now, guys, once we carry the empty bag, because nowadays they're charging for plastic also. That is, we carry our own gunny bag. Okay, we carry our own gunny bag. So once we go to the supermarket, what happens? We purchase the groceries. We purchase the groceries, guys. We purchase the groceries, and once the groceries are purchased and billed off, ultimately, what you are going to do? Tell me now. How?
Going to put the groceries into the gunny bag.
Very good. So that means we are going to put the entire purchased grocery into the gunny bag. We are going to carry the gunny bag. So gunny bag is like a container which carries the groceries from the grocery stores to, what is that? From the grocery stores to, what is that? Yes, guys, your destination or your home. Am I right, guys? Yeah. In the same way here, it is the pipeline carries the data, just like the gunny bag. The pipeline carries the data. The pipeline carries the data from the source to the target, from the source to the target. So that means the pipeline is responsible for orchestration. That means flow of data. Flow of data. The pipeline is responsible for orchestration of data from the source to the target. But whereas before the pipeline is started, we require the linked service. Why we require the linked service? Guys, here you have a source now, and I am saying that my source is, guys, my source is Oracle Database. Am I right? What is my source? My source is what is that, guys? Tell me now. My source is what is that? Oracle database. Now, guys, do you have any relationship between Oracle database and ADF? Do you have any relationship here, guys? Tell me. Are they related to each other?
No.
No, no.
So now for that, to relating both of them, we require the service. That service called as what? Linked service. We require the service called what, guys? Linked service. So linked service creates the relationship between the ADF, guys, between the ADF, not the source and target, between the ADF and the source of data. Okay, between the ADF and what is that? Source of data. Here you will have the linked service used. Okay, so now it creates, as already yesterday we have discussed an example of meeting the Chief Minister of Telangana. If you want to meet the Chief Minister of Telangana, we require a person who can take you to the CM, because once you go to the CM office, he will not be sitting there. So for that, we go and meet his PA. We will go and meet his PA, that is personal assistant, and personal assistant will take you to the Chief Minister. So in the same way here also, you have the linked service which creates the relationship between the source and the ADF system. Am I right, guys? That is called as what? Linked service. Now, guys, what do you mean by data set? Today we'll see what is data set. Guys, all of you following or not? Please let me know. If you're not following, please, guys, let me know.
Yes, we are.
Yes.
Yes, we are following.
Now, guys, so when it comes to this, that is nothing but data sets. So data sets is nothing but, guys, data sets is nothing but, these are called as actually the tables. We get the data and store it in ADF, but we store the data in the form of what is that? Tables, or called as what? Data sets. A table is a collection of what, guys? Tell me now. Rows and
columns.
Rows and columns. In the same way, guys, in the same way, the data set is the collection of what? Observations, guys, observations. Yes, observations and variables. Observations and what is that? Variables. Whereas, guys, the observations are nothing but, these are called as what, guys? Observations are rows. Observations are what? Rows. Guys, observations are nothing but what? Rows. Okay, then what is it? You have it. Variables are nothing but what is it, guys? Columns. Whereas observations are the rows and variables are the columns, and ultimately the data after the extraction is done and in the storage, after the linked service is used and storage. Can you see here you have what is that? Azure blob storage. The data will be stored in what is that? Azure blob storage. So whereas in the Azure blob storage, the data is stored in the form of what is that? Data set. The data is stored in the form of what is that, guys? Data set. The data is stored in the form of what is that? Data set. Am I right, guys? Everyone? The data is stored in the form of what is that? Data set. Okay, the data is stored in the form of what? Data set. Once the data is stored in the form of a data set, from here the data, can you see here? From here, can you see here, guys? From here, the pipeline means it will start from here only. Pipeline will start at this point. We can say this is a pipeline. Pipeline. So the pipeline will start here and the pipeline will end here at this particular point. That is called as what? Destination. Okay. So how many link services we have seen, guys? Tell me now. Yes, all of you. Yes, tell me how many components you have seen, guys? Can you tell me? First one is the pipeline. Second one is the linked service. Third one is what? Data sets. Now, guys, everyone is following or not? Please let me know, guys. This is the major point, turning point where you will be having this. So if you understand this, you will rule the entire subject, guys. So I want every one of you to understand what I am saying. If you're not understanding, Please let me know so that I can give you some good examples for understanding the same. Okay, guys, am I right?
Sir, Azure blob storage is nothing but staging area, sir.
Not the staging area, ma'am. This is not the staging area. This is source only. But we can use the Azure blob as a staging. That is for sure. We can use as a staging. That we can use it in later stages. I will tell you that. Now at this point of time, let us not get confused on the staging. Okay. So I can say we can have what is that Azure blob storage, or we can say ADLS Gen 2. Okay. Or else we can also use what is that SQLDB. Azure SQLDB also we can use it. So now this is not the matter of staging here. The staging matter is gone. Okay. Staging will not come so early here. Okay. Staging is a place before that data is loaded into the destination. One place is created. That is called as what? Staging. That is called as what? Staging. Okay. Okay, guys, everyone. So now staging is nothing but, let us not worry about the staging now. I will tell you the staging once we get into the main subject. We'll discuss it, separate topic, we'll discuss it, because now if we discuss everything, we'll be having confusion in this. Okay, guys. So now here is the thing we have it, guys. So, okay, here you have what's that? Source and the target. Source and the target. Source is nothing but the place where actual information is recorded. And now from the source, we get the data into the data pipeline. This full name is, what is that called as? The pipeline full name is what? Data pipeline. The full name of this pipeline is called as what, guys? Data pipeline. The data will be pulled into the data pipeline. The data will be pulled into what is that? The data pipeline by the linked service. And once the data is pulled into the data pipeline by the linked service, the data will be stored in the form of either in the blob storage, ADLS Gen 2, or SQLDB, in the form of what is that, guys? Data sets. In the form of what is that? Data sets. Am I right, guys? Everyone is following or not?
Yes.
In the form of what? Data sets. And whereas these data sets, guys, on these data sets, or whatever the data we have pulled in, we perform ultimately the that is called as what? Transformation. Am I right, guys? So E will start here, guys. E will start here. E means what? Extraction. Extraction will start here. Once the extraction is done, then you will have T. What do you mean by T, guys? What do you mean by T? T stands for what? Transformation. Very good. Transformation. So ultimately, all the transformations are done here. That is called as what? All the transformations are done here. So T stands for what? Transformation. T stands for what? Transformation. Now, this transformation in Azure is called as what? Mapping data flows. It is called as what, guys? Mapping data flows. Only the naming is changed here. It is called as what? Mapping data flows. So ultimately, we perform the mapping data flows. We perform what is that? Mapping data flows on the data. Ultimately, we perform what is that? Mapping data flows on the data. That is called as what? Mapping data flows is nothing but what? Transformation. Transformation. Only the name is changing, guys. Mapping data flows is nothing but what? Transformation. So we perform the transformation, and once the data is ready after the transformation, the same data, guys, the same data, okay, the same data, it will be loaded. The same data will be, what is that? Loaded into the, what is it? Target. Or we can say, what is that? Destination. Am I right, guys? Whereas, guys, here, whereas, you have it here, all of you. So is it clear? Mapping data flows is clear, everyone, or not? Please.
Yes.
Only one.
Yes. Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay. So I need not explain you once again the mapping data flows. Okay, guys? Because now we'll complete this and we'll begin. I will show you the practical. So I want everyone to know this. So if you have any doubt, please ask me now itself. Okay, guys.
Yes.
Okay, so now let us go ahead now. So mapping data flows. Now, guys, the next one is left out as what is that? Triggers. Triggers. So now before I tell you the concept of trigger, let us see an example. Guys, I slept at around 2 o'clock and I have to wake up. I have to wake up at around 5:30 a.m. Is it possible for me to wake up?
Yes, you can set up alarm.
Not possible, sir.
Not possible. Generally not possible. Okay, but what is that we need to have? Tell me now.
Go for alarm.
Very good. We need to go for an alarm. We need to go for what is an alarm. So now, guys, alarm. So where do we set the alarm?
In your
Yeah.
mobile phone or in your watch.
Yes, we can set an alarm. We can set an alarm in a mobile phone or in a, that is alarm, that is alarm clock, or okay, a small timepiece, etc., etc. Whereas nowadays we are using the alarms in our mobile phone only. Am I right, guys? Everyone?
Yes, sir.
So
Yes.
now, suppose guys, suppose you have to wake up at 5:30 a.m. in the morning as you slept at 2 o'clock. You have already set an alarm in your mobile phone, but you have already woken up till that time only. That is 5:30. You are already woken up. Now the alarm will ring or not? Tell me.
Ring, sir.
Yes.
It will ring whether you are
Yes.
waken up or not, unless until you have disabled it. Unless until you have disabled it, it will ring. Am I right, guys?
Yes, sir.
So whereas what is alarm? Alarm is an automation process. Alarm is an automation process which is started on the given time. Which is started on the given time. Which is started on what is that, guys? Given time. It does not wait for anything. Does it wait for anything, guys?
No, sir.
Nothing. Whether you are waken up or not already, it doesn't matter. It won't wait for you. Automatically, it will start ringing. Automatically, it will start ringing. Am I right, guys? It will start ringing automatically. It will start ringing. What is that? Automatically. Whenever we use an alarm. So whereas in the same way, guys, in the same way you have here, everything is here. What is that? You have it. Can you see here, guys? This is called as, guys, this is called as a pipeline. The pipeline is starting here and creating the link services and then moving and storing the data in Azure Blob Storage or Azure Data Lake Gen 2. Then the data in this is stored in the form of what? Data sets. And once the data is stored in the form of a data set, then what happened? Mapping data flows is performed on it. Am I right, guys? Mapping data flows is performed on this. Okay. Mapping data flows is performed on this. I'm writing it here. Mapping data flows is performed on this. And ultimately the mapping data flows is performed and the data is loaded into the target. The data is loaded into what is that? Target. The data is loaded into what is that, guys? Target. Now all this process is done. All this, the entire process, guys, this entire process is done here and ultimately the data is loaded into the target. But the pipeline is starting from this point and will end at this point. Am I right, guys?
Yes.
The pipeline will end here. The pipeline will end here. So we can say that this entire thing is a part of pipeline or not?
Yeah.
This entire thing is a part of pipeline. So whereas, guys, this entire thing is a part of what is that? Pipeline. This entire thing is a part of what is that? Pipeline. Okay, guys, this entire thing is a part of what is that? Pipeline. So this now here, guys, when the pipeline should start, when it should start doing this process, at what time it should start, on which day it should start, in which day, on which day it should start. So that is decided by the concept called what is that, guys? Triggers. That is decided by the concept called what is that, guys? Triggers. Am I right, guys? Everyone? It is decided by the concept called what is that? triggers. So trigger is nothing but it is an automated process. Trigger is nothing but it is an automated process where, guys, trigger is nothing but it is an automated process which starts automatically on a given date, given time, and a scheduled time or a scheduled date. Am I right, guys? Like a alarm in your mobile phone. It will ring whether you are waken up already or you are sleeping, immaterial, but it will ring. But it will ring, guys. It will ring. In the same way here, guys. In the same way, guys. In the same way. Okay. In the same way here, guys. In the same way we perform. What is it? We have it. In the same way here also the things will move on into the same way. That means the pipeline will start. That is nothing but and end here at a given time and a date by the concept called, what is that? Trigger. By the concept called what? Trigger. And now, guys, here you will have three type of triggers will be there. What are those three type of triggers? The first trigger is called as what? Event based trigger. It is called as what? Event based trigger. And the second type of trigger is what? Scheduled trigger. Scheduled trigger. And the third one is called as what?
Tumbling window.
Trigger. Yes, tumbling window. Tumbling window trigger. Tumbling window trigger. So here you have, what is that? Three different type of triggers. Event based, scheduled trigger, and what is that? Tumbling window trigger. Tumbling window trigger. Am I right, guys? Event trigger, that is nothing but scheduled trigger and tumbling window trigger. Whereas, guys, whereas here, can you see? Whereas here we have, what is that? Event based and scheduled trigger. Means what? Event means what? Can you see here? On, guys, on every Tuesday of a week. On every Tuesday of a week, I want the pipeline to start. When I want to start, tell me now. When I want to start here, guys?
Every Tuesday of the week.
Every Tuesday of the week, I want to start the pipeline. So that is nothing but what? On an event. The event is what? Tuesday here. The event being, what is that? Tuesday. So on the Tuesday of every month or every week, that is nothing but the pipeline will start triggering. Okay. The pipeline will start trigger. That is nothing but kick start. The pipeline will kick start here on every Tuesday. Okay. But at what time it should start? Tuesday. Okay, boss. Tuesday it will start. But at what time? Do we need to mention the time or not?
Yes.
So that time, that means I want to start at 12 o'clock. I want to start at 12 o'clock. 12 means what? 12 a.m. or 12 p.m.? Yeah, 12 a.m. or 12 p.m. Yes, guys.
12
Anything you can say.
12 a.m. So you want to start at 12 a.m. So now 12 a.m. will be decided here by the scheduled trigger. That means on every Tuesday, guys, on every Tuesday, okay, on every Tuesday at 12 a.m. Can you see here? On every Tuesday at, what is that, guys? On every Tuesday at 12 a.m. or 12 p.m. whatever you have it. On every Tuesday at 12 a.m. or 12 p.m. On every Tuesday at 12 a.m. I want to start running this particular pipeline. That is nothing but using that particular concept called trigger. Now tell me, how many triggers we have used it? We have used the event-based triggers and what is that? Scheduled triggers. Getting my point? Event trigger and what is that? Scheduled triggers. And tumbling window trigger. This is a different concept. Okay, so that is okay. Anyways, we will discuss this later once we get into the subject, because I don't want to confuse this right now. Okay, guys, tumbling window trigger. I don't want to touch it here. Okay, so now, guys, here you have, what is that? Event-based trigger, scheduled trigger, and what's that? Tumbling window trigger. These are the three different type of triggers you can have it. Okay, guys. So here we have the pipeline. So to kickstart the pipeline automatically, we use, what is that? Triggers. We use, what is that? Triggers. Clear, all of you now? Guys, Clear, all of you?
Yes.
If not clear, please let me know, ma'am. I'll repeat once again. Yes, everyone.
Yeah, clear, sir.
Clear.
Very good. So now next after this. Now guys, we have the activities. We have an activity. Tell me now, we have an activity. Getting my point, everyone? We have an activities. So now what is an activity? Can you see here, guys? Here you are running the pipeline. I'm running the pipeline. Am I running the pipeline here, guys? Yes, I am running the pipeline. The pipeline is starting from this point and ending at this point. Am I right, guys? Within the pipeline, I am using the linked service to create the relationship, storages to store the data in the form of a data set. And now entire process is done by using what is that? Mapping data flows. Am I right, guys? The entire process is done by using what is that? Mapping data flows. The entire process is done by what is that, guys? Mapping data flows. This entire process is done by what is that? Mapping data flows. And whereas this particular pipeline, at which time it should start and at which time it should end, it is given by what is that? Triggers. It is given by triggers. But activities, what do you mean by activities? Guys, what activity I wanted to do now?
Purpose.
Yeah, per running of a pipeline, doing this mapping, etc. Okay, what activity do you want me to do? So that means, suppose I wanted to simply here, guys, simply I wanted to all of you, just somebody put it in the mute mode. So guys, all of you, can you see here? Here we want to put the data. Guys, here you want to put the data. That is nothing but I want to use a copy. That means simply I wanted to copy the data. Guys, simply I wanted to copy. Copy means what, guys? Tell me. Copy is nothing but it is a job of control C plus control V. Am I right? Control C plus what is that? Control V. Control C means what? Copy of the data. Control V means what? Pasting of the data. Same thing, just copy activity. Or else I wanted to use an activity here called what is that? Guys, I want to use the activity called what? Stored procedure. Stored procedure. Or I wanted to use an activity called what is that, guys? Suppose I want to use an activity here called condition activity. If condition. If, then, else. We want to use, we can use all this. This is called as what? Activities. Activities are nothing but the action you wanted to perform on the data is called as what is that, guys? The action you wanted to perform on the data. The action you wanted to perform on the data while performing the process of ETL. The action you wanted to perform on the data. The action you wanted to perform on the data is decided by what is that? Activities. Is decided by what is that, guys? Activities. Am I right, everyone?
Yes.
I think it's not, this particular thing is not clear for many of you. Yes, am I right?
Clear.
Okay, I'll give you some example. You have been to the supermarket. You bought the vegetables. Guys, you bought the vegetables. You have chopped it. The vegetables you have chopped it. And now you have prepared the curry also. The curry is ready now. The curry is what? Ready.
Ready.
Now the curry is ready. That means the curry is ready. So now what you are doing? You bought the vegetables and you have cooked the vegetables. That means from the raw form, you have transformed into what is that? Cooked format. Am I right, guys?
Yes.
From the raw
Yes,
form,
sir.
from the raw form, you have converted to what is it? Cooked format. And once the dish is ready now, once the dish is ready, but what I wanted to do, I wanted to eat for myself. And the same way, guys, in the same way, I want this vegetable curry to be given in an orphanage. In an orphanage. So what is that? Action. That is called as what? Action. That means I wanted to eat, of course, but apart from me eating, even I wanted to give the same curry at an orphanage. Getting my point, guys? What is the action? You're giving the curry to an orphanage. Okay, that means you can use that curry for yourself as well as you can donate it. Am I right, guys? So what is the action you have it here? Donation is the action. Am I right, guys?
Yes.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
donation is what is that? Yeah, you will earn money, guys. You can utilize that money for yourself. But why we are earning money? For survival. We earn the money for survival, but that money you can utilize it for ourselves, else we can donate it. Am I right, guys?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
So that action what you wanted to perform by using the money, you can use it for yourself, else you can donate it. In the same way here, guys, don't get confused here. The mapping data flow is the actual process of data summarization. Data summarization or actually required format we change it, but activity is that which you wanted to perform on the data. That means once the transformation is done and the data is ready, what you want to do? Do you want to retain the data here? No. Here we use the activity. Here we use what is that, guys? Activity. So here my activity I'm using as what? Copy. I'm using an activity called what? Copy. Once the mapping data flows is done, guys, once the mapping data flows is done, I wanted to copy the data. I wanted to copy what is that? Data. I wanted to copy the data, guys. I wanted to copy the data from the that is nothing but that is I wanted to copy the data from what is that? That is the data, the source to the target. Source to the target. I wanted to copy the data from what is that? Source to the target. So this thing is decided by and what is that? Component called activity. It is decided by the component called what is that, guys? Activity. So activity is nothing but in technically what I can do, what I can tell you is that activity is nothing but it decides the action to be performed on the data. The action to be performed, whether the data should be simply copied or made any changes on the data, will be done by the activity, by the concept called what is that? Activity, or by the component called what is that? Activity. So here you have the following components of ADF. Okay, guys, clear everyone? So these are the 7 components which is mandatorily required in ADF to perform the process of ETL. That stands for what is that, guys? Extraction, transformation, and what is that? Loading. Am I right, everyone? Yes, guys?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now, guys, I'm just going ahead with the practical here. Guys, how to create this account? How to create this account? So I'll show you now how to create this account. For creation of this account, can you see here, guys? I'm opening a new tab. Just open a tab. And in the tab, type it here portal dot, type it here azure.com. Type it here as what? Azure.com. Now, guys, this is your actual page wherein you can see, can you see getting started, get started, or try Azure for free. Simply, if you are using it this for the first time, simply try using it for free. But you need to have a credit card. It is mandatory to have a credit card. If you don't have a credit card, then it's not possible to log in here. Okay, but it will charge only 2 rupees from your credit card for month. For the first month, it will charge only 2 rupees. Okay, guys. So try having a credit card. Okay. So now click on this free account. Now it will ask you for 2 models. That is whether you want to go for a start free or you want to go pay as you go model. Pay as you go model means what? We use it, we pay it. We use it, we pay it. It's called as what? Pay as you go model. Free means what? Everything will be free here, but your some credits will be given to you. Some credits will be given to you. 1500 and odd credits will be given to you. Every time you use it, the credits will be consumed off. And once all the credits are done, guys, okay. Once all the credits are done, then what happens here? Once all the credits are done, then you have to convert your free model towards it, pay as you go model. Okay, guys, everyone. Okay, everyone. So this is how we use it. So just click on what is that? I'm using start for free.
Is there any way without credit card we can sign up?
No, as of now. Now, guys, here you need to give your email ID. As already mine is registered, it is giving you. Else it will ask you for what? Email ID and the password. Then afterwards, after you enter this, you need to give the card information, the credit card information you have to give it. And once the credit card information is given, then automatically it drives you to this particular page. What is it page? This page is called as what? Portal.azure.com. It is called as what? Portal.azure.com. This is called as what? Portal.azure.com. Okay, guys. This is the page you have it, everyone. Okay. So now, guys, this is the page ultimately what we do every day. And once it is done, guys, then ultimately we can start the practicals. So now, guys, I want every one of you to subscribe this today. And if those who have not subscribed, because we are going to start the practicals from tomorrow. Okay. Yes, guys.
First, we have to go to azure.com or .in.
Whatever it may be, azure.com only, not the .in. First of all, go to the azure.com. Okay. Just a minute. It is azure.com only, nothing else. See, I'm opening a new web page. I'm opening, just a minute. I'm opening a new web page, a portal, new portal. I'm using it. I have some portals saved here. So now, guys, what I'll do is I'll open this. Can you see here? Now I will try to open this. See here, azure.com only. Click on free. Start free. Now can you see it? Start for free. Okay, you have some popular service. It is not allowed for me because already I have taken enough this thing. It's not allowing. You can try out. Okay, guys. So I can go with pay as you go model or get started. Can you see it? We have to pick up a mail ID. We have to pick up a mail ID from here. And then we need to give a password here. I'm giving the password. Now you want to save this. So I want to save it. Okay. So now, guys, click on yes. So all those things you have to use it. Now can you see here? Here you have it, sign up. Now here you have to give some information about your credit card and everything. Once it is already done, guys, once it is done, you have to come here to the bottom. Okay, all of the information is filled up. Then give the payment information. The sign up at the end, you have to use the sign up. So once you sign up here, automatically you will get it here. It will drive you to this page. What is it? Portal.azure.com. That's it. This is the page you have to use on the daily basis every day. Am I right, guys? Everyone is clear? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yes, yes.
Yes.
So this is how we can make out. So guys, we'll start up the practicals from tomorrow. From tomorrow we'll have tomorrow we'll have the class. Okay. Though is at Saturday, tomorrow we have the class. So the same time, and then we will have a class tomorrow, and we will start the practicals from tomorrow. Okay, guys. So that's it. I'm ending the class. So tomorrow at 8 a.m. we'll meet again, guys. Yeah, any doubt? Now tell me if you have any doubt, guys, please.
Sir, the amount will deduct every month automatically or we have to pay?
No, there will be no auto deduction. There will be no auto deduction. It will ask you whether to deduct it or not. Even though you have used an auto debit, it will not debit the amount.
Yeah, hi sir.
Yeah,
What are the languages that we
For
use?
1 month,
Let her
for 1
continue.
month, how much amount we have to pay?
700-800, not more than that, based on your usage. Yeah, Ma, tell me.
What are the languages that we use here, sir? Because we are integrating with different technologies.
It is better to have the knowledge of SQL. That is my opinion. And SQL also you need not learn anywhere. I will take you as a part of this course only.
Okay. So, like any programming code do we use in middle of the flow?
No. We don't use it. There is no programming at all.
Okay.
Yeah, hi sir.
Yeah, go ahead, please.
Whatever the modules do you have provided management, those 11 modules will be covered in this course.
Yes, whatever the things are there in the content brochure given there on the web
Seems
page, all the things are
hectic
covered.
syllabus, that's
Yes.
why.
Yes, but I don't follow that.
Is it possible to?
I don't follow that structure, but
Okay.
I will cover more than that.
Okay, sure. Sir. And when will be the actual batch starts, actual classes?
This is the
For
first
this-
class only. Already the classes only.
Okay.
Are you sharing the demo video? Like,
Yes, of course. This everything is given to you in the form of videos. You have to check with the management for getting the drive access. Google
Okay.
Drive access. They will provide you that Google Drive access.
okay, thank you.
Yeah. Any other questions?
So total, how many classes? I mean, how many hours?
60 hours.
So will that be including Saturday and Sunday?
No, only working classes.
One working class. Okay.
5 into that is 4 weeks, 20. So 20, 20, 20. So if the last of 20 which you have it, we will be covering it on some Saturdays.
Okay.
So, do we use any like Python over here anywhere? Do we call the code Python code?
No, we don't call the Python code, but we can command the system to generate the Python code for us.
Okay. So in
Maybe
real time, do we
Yes.
use that?
No, even real time also the same type of job will be done. Nothing will be used. Okay. For that, what we do is we integrate this with the ADV most of the times. Azure
ADV.
Databricks. Yes. For this batch, I'm just giving even the concepts of ADB. Okay. Some 8 to 10 scenarios we are going to see even on the ADB, guys. Only for this batch. Okay. We are also going to see the ADB. Okay. The basic concepts. Some 10 scenarios we are going to see on even on the ADB, Azure Databricks. So now, what is happening here is, can you see here in this flow? What we will do is from here, guys, from here extraction till here extraction, and okay, from here till here we are going to see that is nothing but till the mapping data flows we are going to see using the ADF. Okay, and from the this part till the loading into the target and generating the reports and developing the data lakes, the delta lakes, the DLT, delta lakes, all these things we are going to see in the ADV. I'll show you, don't worry, some 8 to 10 scenarios. Enough scenarios are there, okay, to handle it. Okay, guys?
One more question, sir.
Yeah, please.
I hope these classes, most of them will be practical sessions, right? So personal laptop is mandatory for this, right? Practical, most of part of will be practical or
Obviously,
theoretical?
practical, so nothing theoretical.
Oh,
This is a practical. What is there will be doing in theory. Only for explanation, I gave you this. Now you'll have a practicals from tomorrow. You require a personal laptop, it depends upon you. You can also try out in a cyber cafe. Okay. But if you don't think that is convenient for you, then you can have it.
Hello.
Yeah, please.
Will Python is also cover on ADB?
Yeah. Python is all obviously it's very mandatory. We will see in ADB.
And I have one question that can we have your contact number also after the class?
Yeah, definitely you can have it. So I'm available here, guys, on this number. If you want, you can just call me for any clarity.
So we can contact or text you on like WhatsApp.
Yes, definitely. This is my number 8096374412. So you can call me anytime. Okay, whichever the thing, whatever the thing is required for you. Okay, guys.
And hello.
Yeah. Tell me.
Free trial we use only once per card.
Huh?
Free trial we can use free trial card once per card.
Yes, only once.
Once per. After that, we need to pay payment.
Yes, definitely you have to make the payment.
How much payment may be required, sir?
The more you use the electricity bill, how much you consume it, you have to pay that much, isn't it?
Yeah. Okay.
The same way.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Hi, this is Vijay. Actually, whatever the course content you guys has provided, is it enough for 3 to 4 years experience, or do we need to learn any other Azure
Nothing.
services?
That's more than enough for 3 to 4 years experience. That's it.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Next question. Anyone?
For ADF only, we have to getting the calls, or we have to learn mandatory to ADB also.
Now we are getting the calls. The market is very good for ADF.
Okay.
At which
For
level
ADF,
you want to fix? See, at which level? See, the thing is that you have many requirements, different type of requirements. You have to show yourself the best. That is a funda behind everything to get a job. Am I right?
Okay.
If you say, I know ADF and also I can do the ADV, then the opinion will change. Am I right?
Yeah.
That's something we have.
Yeah. Apart from ADF, any DB like SQL or
SQL is required, but anyways, that I will tell you in the class itself. Whatever the up to what level SQL is required, I'll tell you. Okay. That's it, guys. You don't need to learn anything else apart from this, whatever you're doing it. That much I can tell you, assuredly.
Sir?
Yeah. Go ahead, please.
So I have already Azure portal account of my organization. Okay. So I didn't get any access in the other thing. So there is an option for the same option here. Okay. Start for free or pay as you go. So which I have to prefer that?
See, already I think they have not created the access. They have not given the access to you.
Yeah. Not an access. Only sign in option is available in the Azure portal.
Sign in directly. Because billing everything, they will do it for you.
Okay. So there is the option for start for free or pay as you go. So which I have to prefer that?
It's a company one hours.
Yeah.
You check with the administrator. You cannot go vaguely like that.
Okay. Thanks.
So for the timing, what you can do is you can try out for free. Try Azure for free. Okay. Yeah. Next question.
ADF is similar to Informatica Power Center or like the same?
Similar to that, more than that. That's it. Not exactly like that.
Okay.
There is no scripting languages required, guys, for learning the ADF.
Okay.
Next. Yes, any other questions?
Yes, I have one question for Databricks. What prerequisites are required?
To learn the Databricks, you require the following. Python is required, Scala is required, R is required, and SQL is required.
But you will cover Python also.
Yeah, of course I'll cover.
So if we don't have any programming language knowledge, so it will it should we join us that session or not?
See, basically, the basic level commands, we can just have it without knowledge also. Any language you learn, if you know the basics, you can play in future. That's the basic funda you have it. Okay. And when it comes to the learning, the more you learn, the more knowledge you'll get it, the more grip you'll get on the subject. There is no ending for learning the things, isn't it?
Okay.
Ultimately, our motive is to get a good job. That is our motive. Okay. Based targeting that, you have to move. That's the only thing I can tell you now, as of now.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Yeah, tell me.
Yeah, for you getting the ADF job, what are the certification is mandatory?
For getting the job, certification is not mandatory.
Okay. For the some of the companies are asking for AG 900 and DB 900 like this.
Yeah, they are asking. If you want to go, you can definitely go. They will ask you, are you certified? Then the preference will be different. They will not ask you, go and get the certification, I'll give you the job. No one is going to tell you that.
Okay.
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 That's it. Any other questions? Yeah.
So
Yeah.
based on this course, which certification we can prepare later if you want to be a certified for Azure?
Yes, you can write all the certifications except on the machine learning things. Whatever you have it, you can't write it.
So remaining certifications how we can cover, right?
Yes, you can cover it. Yeah, tell me. Next question.
Hello, sir.
Yeah. Tell me.
Saturday and Sunday also continue these classes.
Yeah, this week we'll have it on Saturday.
Okay.
This week we'll have it on Saturday. Sunday there will be no class, and Monday we'll have a normal regular class.
Every Saturday is continue these classes. Every Saturday.
Every Saturday there will be no class, but tomorrow we have a class.
Oh, okay.
Because I have some seminar also, so we'll just continue.
Yeah. Okay.
Sir, are you going to discuss the real-time projects, or you are going to give us any hands on that one?
Yeah, I will discuss the all real-time scenarios, not the project, basically the scenarios.
Okay. So what is a project flow like? What?
The project flow starts from the beginning, from the data extraction, from the data engineer point of view. We are going to see it here.
Okay. Okay. So are you going to give any some small project or to work on that one?
Of course, if you want, I can give you some studies to work on.
Okay.
Okay, guys. Any other questions for me?
Hi, sir.
Yeah, go ahead, please.
Actually, I'm Python developer. Actually, I'm new to ADF. I want to learn ADF. Before any basics, I have to learn, or I can start ADF there.
Not required, really not required. You can start directly with the ADF. Slowly we can go ahead and anyway, see the class itself, we are going to see the SQL. That will be enough for you to go ahead.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. Any other questions? Okay, guys. Thank you then. We'll stop the class here and we'll continue tomorrow at 8 o'clock. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you. Bye.